Three, two, one, one, two, three, three, two, one.
What's going on, y'all? Back for another episode of the Peat Podcast. Welcome. I'm Nat the GM. This is my guy Jones. Jones, say what's up.
What's going on, y'all? What's up? We back.
We are that. All stars, Jones. So the list is out. Starters in the East, starters in the West. It's pretty spot on, except. Right? Except.
Yes.
So we got on the East. Let's start in the West. The West, I think, is a little bit more accurate.
Yep.
Slightly. Luka, Kevin Durant, Shea, LeBron, Joker. What are your thoughts?
I like it. I don't think I can really argue any of those positions being off of the starting. The only thing that I could maybe argue is maybe getting Cat in there, but it's hard to go with Cat over the Joker. Like, Joker's still the Joker, so it's tough. And then you got people always got to remember the fan vote counts. It's like 50% of the vote, so it doesn't really matter what we think. It's what the fans and the players think, and that's how the voting works. So, just for those fans that are listening, just keep that in mind. That's how the voting works. It's fans and the players, or how the starters get voted in is what I was talking about. But I have no problem with it. I don't got a problem with it.
Bron is a starter to you?
Yep. Oh, don't start that. Oh, don't even start.
No, it's a question. Let me tell you why. No. I'm not trying to start anything. I'm not trying to. Don't come for me. I'm not coming for nobody. This is why I'm asking though. Cat has had a hell of a season or whatever. His team is also battling 1 and 2. Every starting player is in the playoffs right now, except for the Lakers. So I get it. I just think that some love to somebody else would have been nice. I think
I get what you're saying as far, because I did look at that and I did notice that for the most part, actually, yeah, if everybody in the starting lineup, East and West, they're in the playoffs. So that's definitely a good point. That's definitely a good point. Yep.
Yeah, that's it. No hate on LeBron or whatever. 39 years old.
For a second.
No hate. There's no need. 25, pretty much 8-8. At 39 years old. What are you gonna say about that? He's 39, y'all. Like
20 years. He's been in the All-Star game more
20
than
years.
20 years, more than he's like that's ridiculous.
Yeah, 20 years. It's crazy. So shout out to LeBron and shout out to the All-Star starters on the West. Joker, Jesus Christ, he's at 26, 9, and 12. I mean,
like, what can you say?
Like, this dude, man, he's like out of a video game. Like,
seriously. And the funny thing is, in the video game, he's not that good.
Yeah, like, it just hasn't translated to.
It doesn't translate in the video game. It does not.
Shout out to Joker. I love watching him play.
For sure.
He's phenomenal. Kevin Durant, I just thought that, I was like, of course. I looked right over his name, honestly, because I was like, yeah, he's an all-star. He's like, was he 35? And he's at 28, 6, and 6. And he's scoring the ball so well. I think that Phoenix is going to continue to get better. They've had some good stretches of basketball. They're still in the playoffs right now, and they're going to be. I still think they're going to get better. I think that they are going to make a trade in Phoenix too, and that team's going to be even better than what they are now. But what do you think of Kevin Durant being an All-Star starter for the West?
I mean, he's another one, especially with the way he kept that team I mean, I don't want to say afloat, but I guess you can say afloat. When Bill is out or Booker's out, he's for the most part been in the lineup, and they lost a lot of games, but they've also won a lot of games that they shouldn't have had no chance in if it wasn't for him still playing at a high level. And for a lot of people that are watching him, you got to remember this guy, for the most part of his career, has dealt with injuries. And for the most part, when you deal with injuries in the beginning of the career, you're going to deal with them the rest of your career. And it usually derails your career. Where Kevin Durant is one of those unique situations where he's had a lot of injuries towards the beginning, mid of his career, but now he's starting to get a lot more healthy. He's been on the court a lot more, and he's playing still great, if not better. So it's special to see what Kevin Durant's being able to do. He's only going to get better with these two getting better, with the chemistry getting better with that team. I got no problem with Kevin Durant. I do have one other person, though. I'll let you finish, but I got one person that might have been snubbed for the starters.
For West or East?
West.
We're going for the West.
For the West.
Really?
It's tough, though. I'm okay with what it is, but I think one person might have just a little bit, might have been snubbed a little bit, or could have gotten a lot more looks. Devin Booker, the way he lights it up, especially the last few months, last month or really, he's been lighting it up. But Luka's numbers are so hard to argue. I think that's where it's just like
35, 9 and 9.
My thing, it goes back to kind of what you were saying though with LeBron. The Lakers, I mean, yes, the Mavs are in the playoffs, and so are the Suns, but the Mavs are like barely hanging on. Like they got to do a lot to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like they're barely hanging on. So I think what the Suns are doing are a little bit more impressive, especially with the inconsistencies with their lineup. And Booker, when he does play, he's lights out. So I think he could have got a little bit more votes as far as getting a shot to being a starter, but we know he's going to get in regardless. It'll be no question he gets in.
He'll get in. I'm not going to argue with it. I get what you're feeling. I have some feelings about somebody on the East.
We're going to get to it for sure. And I'm going to agree with you on it because I already know. You didn't even tell me what you're going to say, but I already know.
I'm looking at his name and I'm just like, nah. But shout out to Luka, 35, 9 and 9. He's having a hell of a season, doing the best he can with Dallas. He's just doing what he can.
Put up that 70 piece while we were gone.
Oh, let's talk about that.
Yes, please.
What happened last week? It was like 5 people went on a scoring binge of 70 points, 60 points. Like what was going on last week? That
I don't know what was in the water over there, but first it was Embiid. I think Embiid the same Monday. I think it was.
Yes.
The same night we were on, probably while we were actually recording, Embiid was dropping 70. At the same time, if I'm not mistaken, KD went for 40 plus that night. And then the day later, Cat goes for 60 plus. Then 4 days later,
Cat goes for 70. So this is the funny part. Cat was the same night.
Okay, it was Cat that was the same night. Okay.
He was overshadowed because they lost to Charlotte.
Yep.
Now Cat was, he had a hell of a game. I do want to show him some love because Joel is a phenomenal scorer as a big man. I think that Cat is slept on offensively, because you have not seen a big man necessarily move the way Cat does and score the
Right.
way he does. I understand the things that are said in the narratives and everything like that. I'm not a narrative driven person.
Right.
I like your talent. If I like your talent, I like your talent. If I don't, I don't. But
Simple.
I'll always respect you. But Karl Anthony Towns shot 10 of 15 from three. That man is 7 feet tall. He is a center.
That's ridiculous.
Like, do you understand how insane that is for someone of his caliber and, a center, a big man, to shoot 15 threes and make 10 of them?
And should have made more. I think they just forced a little bit. And that's what they ended up losing it. Yep.
If he had more of an inside presence, I think more dominating.
Oh, yeah.
He could have had
That's
about
how Embiid got
75.
his 70 for the most part.
Yeah, but shout out to Cat, because it's a damn shame it got overlooked, because, you lost to Charlotte, and it just wasn't a good game. Wasn't a good game plan either, because Minnesota, which is why I think they're going to fall a little bit, especially in the playoffs. You don't know how to do what Philly did, which was they were able to feed Joel Embiid, but not lose the game script.
Mm-hmm.
They did not fall. They did not lose, and they did not put themselves in a worse situation. Minnesota understood what Cat was trying to do, and they continued to feed him the ball and just messed up the flow of the game. Yep. Everything was terrible. This is why I have feelings about them in the playoffs, because I'm like, okay, y'all still don't get it. So,
right.
But shout out to Cat for that, because it was a hell of a game for him still. And it was just overshadowed by this man, Joel Embiid, big game. we're gonna finish out this West though, and then we're gonna move over there to the East and talk about it. But shout out to Cat, because I don't want that to be overlooked from him. Shea is a starter.
I love it. I love that Shea got in. If I'm not mistaken, is this his first starter?
I believe this is his first start. In the West.
I love this because in today's game, especially with the guard position, you normally see the 3-point shooters. You see Steph. You see Dame. You see those type of guys, flashy type of guys getting in at the starter position. But Shea, he's not one of those 3-point high volume shooters. He gonna get buckets, but he's gonna get it in the paint from a jumper, mid range kind of thing. He's still flashy, but in his own way. And it's beautiful to watch him play basketball, because he plays it the right way. He's not one of those flashy guys that he's just trying to be flashy and that's it. No, he's playing. His game is just flashy, but he's not trying to be flashy, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like all the flashy plays, the Euros, the nice passes. That's just how it comes to him like that. And it just, it looks beautiful. It looks like he's making it super easy. So I love that he got in. I think this is going to be the first of many for him. He's got that team in a great position. If he can just continue leading them the way he's been doing it, they're going to be a tough out in the West.
They are. OKC is having a hell of a season. I've enjoyed watching them, this season, watching, the play of Chet. I'm a big Chet person. I was ready for him to play last year, and then obviously he didn't. And I was like, damn. Then he started this year, and I was like, word. And then you could see how special he is. He is so special.
Oh, yeah.
I really don't want Wembanyama's just the way Wembanyama is, just, you can tell he's just generational.
Yeah.
I don't want that to overshadow Chet's abilities. And I think that's what happens, because we're so enamored with, Wembanyama, we forget that Chet, what he's doing, a lot of guys can't come into the league doing. He's going to continue to get better. He's going to continue to be deadly from the 3-point shot.
Oh yeah.
And he's going to block shots at an elite level like he does now. He's a hell of a defender. He's going to get better. So I don't want, sometimes it falls from the weight to the wayside a little bit. And I just want to show, Chet some love there. But yeah, just the way OKC is playing, it's led by Shea, and they are battling that back and forth with Minnesota, that 1-2, 1-2.
Oh yeah.
You're out of the playoffs the last few seasons, and then you guys just do a complete 180 and you're just playing differently and better basketball. And Shea has just become, this star, so I don't know, man. Like, that's one of the ones I was happy to see,
Yeah, for sure. Me too.
Yeah, so I was very happy to see that. We know that when we shoot over to the east, there's some controversy, and I think me and you are on the same page with this one.
Yep.
So I brought up some stats, but let's show love to the east. Giannis, no argument.
No argument.
31 points, 6 assists, about 12 rebounds. Phenomenal. There's nothing you can say about Giannis. Phenomenal season, phenomenal stats. Joel Embiid, no argument. He's averaging 36 points, 6 assists, and 11 rebounds. There's nothing we're going to say about that.
Bad thing is, he might not get the MVP.
Huh?
He might not get the MVP. With those amazing stats, might not get the MVP because of one thing.
I think I know what you're going to say, but we might agree on this. Tyrese Halliburton. Shout out to Tyrese Halliburton. 24, 13 assists, and 4 rebounds. He made the All-Star starters.
Yep. Shout out to him. I like it. I shout out to him for that. I think, especially the in-season tournament, I think that really gave him the shine that he needed because he's in a small market franchise. So when everyone got to see him on the big stage and see him shine, I think people really started noticing him. The fans especially started noticing him. Me being one of those guys, because I could tell you, my cousin was telling me about this guy last year. He always played with him in 2K, and he's always talking. I'm like, yo, what is it about this guy? Like, he look all right, but there's nothing that, like, he don't stand out to me. And then this year, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna really pay attention to him. And he stood out. He stood out this year. Now I get it. I'm a Tyrese guy. I get it.
Yeah.
He definitely deserves it. Shout out to him. He got that team looking good. Now you got Siakam. Let's see what they really can do.
I followed Tyrese Halliburton since he was drafted by the Kings. I really liked it. I did not like it, though, because I knew that Fox and Halliburton, they were not going to coexist together. I was like, they do similar things. They have to have the ball in their hands, and, to lead, and, set up the offense and everything. I was like, this is not going to work, so you're going to have to make a choice. But when Fox would sit and Halliburton would get a chance to just run point, you saw how special he was. And I'm like, this is not going to work with both of them. I thought that they would stay younger and keep Halliburton.
Okay.
But they chose to keep Fox. And, it's a great choice. I think that either way, it was a good choice.
Absolutely.
And it's hard to say that with a lot of teams. Like,
you're right, exactly.
If I trade you, I'm still in great hands. And if I trade you, I'm still in great hands.
Right. That's a fact.
I love this choice. I really do, because it's a small market. It's a guy that, as you just said, a lot of people do not watch, but if you just watch those Indiana Pacers games, and defensively, they're nothing to really look at, but offensively, Halliburton, he leads them the whole way. The shots he creates, he's averaging about 13 assists.
Yep.
And there's not another star on that team, but they're averaging 13 assists. So that's a big deal. And he's scoring like at a remarkable rate, So what is it? Did I say 20s? 24. 24 points, I can't say enough about Tyrese Halliburton. I really can't. He's a problem, and I just love watching him. I love his progression. He's going to continue to get better.
Yep.
Now, a lot a lot of people say he's like the modern Chris Paul.
I can see it. I can see the comparison a little bit.
Yeah,
A little bit. A little bit.
Yeah, I'm not a Chris Paul person at all. So I was just like, nah, he's a Tyrese Halliburton though.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
I was like, nah, like he's Tyrese Halliburton. I get it, but no.
Right.
You're not gonna get that from me. you're just not gonna get that from me. Jason Tatum, 27, 8, and 4.
Now there's a guy that I think may steal the MVP from. Now I don't want to say steal, but he'll be eligible for it because
I know what you're saying. We're gonna get
Yeah.
We have somebody to rip to shreds because we know that Tatum, there's nothing we can say. Of course he's a starter. He hasn't been, I think, as flashy this year, but he doesn't have to be.
Doesn't need to be. Yep.
The flash is not the name of the game this year. It's about doing the little things, cleaning up the little things, and they are number one, in the NBA. Still, and with the Boston Celtics, led by Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum. He's a better defender, I think, this year. Smarter defender is what I like to see from him. And his true shooting, it went up slightly. Like he was over 60%, and I think it just dipped under 60%.
Right.
He's still having a phenomenal season. There's not a lot of small forwards you're going to put before him, and he's just been getting it done, this year.
Yep.
He's the least flashy, I think, pick next to Halliburton, I want to say. Yeah, he's the least flashy pick. It's like him and Halliburton just get it done, but they're so good in their respective positions, so not a lot to say. We just knew that. We know Zero was going to be a starter. Shout out to Jason Tatum. She
just can't wait to get to this one.
Okay, so Damian Lillard is an all-star starter. In what fucking world, Jones, is he a starter this year?
He's not.
Like, honestly.
He's not. And I'm a Dame guy. That's one of my favorite players. No. He didn't deserve it this year. Nope.
So if that's what we're doing, then I demand that Steph Curry be an all-star starter. If that's just what we're going to do, put Steph Curry in there.
Mm-hmm.
So all jokes aside, right? We're going to get into some specifics. Damian Lillard, 25, 7, and 4. The guy that I felt deserved it was Jalen Brunson. 27, 4, and 6.
Yep.
He's had some phenomenal games.
Unbelievable.
And it's kind of crushing that he was not voted to be a starter because he's kept them not even just afloat, but he's been leading them.
Yes.
And he went on a surge, actually, when those comments were made that he's not a 1A, he's like, wait a minute, like I'm really good,
I'm him.
I'm him. Like, and he goes on this surge and it's just phenomenal. Like, Jones, let's go down the list really quick. He's had a 40-point game, a 30-point game, a 30-point game, a 38-point game, 32. He's had some incredible games in the month of January. I don't understand that. And I think it's the flashy name. I think they went with the flashy name.
Yep.
Damian Lillard. You can't see Damian Lillard not being, a starter.
Right.
But even though New York is a big market, New York is a team that's on the come up. They are building, it's hard for me to look at Damian Lillard and say that he's been more consistent than Jalen Brunson and even more flashy, bigger games than Jalen Brunson. So it's
Absolutely.
hard, yeah, it's hard for me to to agree with that choice. I think they got it wrong. How are you feeling? Did you agree? Was that what you were going to say?
I 100% agree with you. Dame, that's my guy. I love Damian Lillard, but Brunson, like I'm seeing that firsthand, and he's been, like you said, leading. Not only just keeping the Knicks alive, he's been leading that Knicks team from start to finish, from the jump of this season to right now. He hasn't let his foot off the gas, not one bit. And I love that about Jim. Like I love that. That's one thing that I said about when we got Jalen Brunson was I want to see what we saw in Dallas. Are we gonna get that same hungry player? Because he was busting ass in Dallas that final year. I'm like, all right, can we get that guy? Not only did we get that guy, we got a better guy. We got someone that's taking this 1A position and taking it there. Like, no, yo, I'm him. I know Randall was here and he's holding it down, but they brought me here for that to take us to the next level, and he's literally bringing them to the next level. So for me, I don't know how the hell Dame got on there. Just watch the tape. Just watch the tape. The reason why the Bucks are second in the East is because of Giannis, not because of Dame.
Not because of Dame.
Because of Giannis. Giannis is keeping that team afloat right now, and that just speaks volumes to how great he is, because he's been literally holding on. Dame's been having good games, but Giannis has been going crazy to keep them in these games. Crazy.
I don't even mean to be like negative or anything like that.
You do.
I'll give you a second person that I think has just had some better outings than.
I know. I wonder if you're gonna say the same person.
All right, on the count of three, let's do it. One.
Wait. All right, go.
1, 2, 3. Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, let's go.
Look at us. Go. Okay. Donovan Mitchell, you're talking about 28 points, 6-6.
Without two of his best players.
Nobody's playing. It's him.
What, fourth or what are they?
They are fourth. The last time I checked, I will give you the update now. The Cleveland, they're fifth.
Fifth, without their two best players.
Without another star.
Come on now. That's beautiful.
So that's two people that I'm looking at like is just a little bit better of a choice than Damian Lillard. That's no hate.
Right.
No hate. If you're playing well, you're just playing well. It just is what it is. There have been some games where he has struggled. There have been some games where he has not shot well, and there's been quite a few. There's not just like one.
Right.
It's not just two. It's like a string of them. Where maybe he gets like 3 threes, maybe.
Right, exactly.
3 threes. It just hasn't been great. So you're getting on like on this all-stars starters list for playing.
Exactly. For being on
so that kind of bothers me a little bit, So, but still, shout out to Jalen Brunson. Keep doing your thing. I think that because he was snubbed, though, he's going to go on a tear.
Like that fire, baby. Like keep fueling that fire, baby.
Oh, keep going. Keep going.
I love it.
Donovan Mitchell, he's going to go on a tear.
Yep.
These are two guys that are just going to put, their foot to the pedal, and then, you're going to see some phenomenal games out of them. So shout out to them.
Absolutely.
Who are your reserves?
So the guys that we mentioned that
Yep, Brunson and Mitchell.
Brunson, Mitchell. Porzingis has got to get in there. The way he's been playing with that Celtics team is phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Who else?
Tyrese Maxey.
Gotta get Tyrese Maxey in there. The way he's been playing. I think
Philly.
Randall will get in, but he'll probably be replaced because of the injury.
Yeah.
He'll be out for a few weeks. But he'll get in, I think, and deservingly so.
I got a name for you.
Who you got?
Paolo Banchero.
Yes. The Magic's team.
Shout out to the Magic.
Shout out to that Magic team. They right there. They right in the hunt of it.
They're the 8th seed. They're tied for 7th right now with Miami, who's on a 6-game losing streak. We'll get to that in a minute. Paolo Banchero is a weird number 1 pick. It's like he doesn't get that respect.
Second year?
Is this second year?
Second or third year, I think.
It's second or third year.
Yeah.
Second or third, but he doesn't get that respect like a number 1 pick. It's kind of weird, right?
That's a great fucking point. Great point.
It's like you don't dote over him, but he's a hell of a player.
Yep.
You know, Paulo is someone that when he plays, so last year he could not shoot the 3 well. He was at like under 30%.
Right.
This year he's at about 36% or 34%. He took a massive leap, you know. So he's getting better quickly, you know. There's not a lot of talk, right?
Right. You don't hear that much. And at one point in the beginning of the season, he had this team at the top. Now, of course, you know, the best teams are going to start flowing towards the top. It's going to fluctuate, but still, to still have this team in position is something, because that team was nobody was looking at the Magic like that.
Absolutely. Paulo is 23 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. I love this dude. Love this dude. 35% from the 3-point
That's huge. That's a huge increase.
So there's an improvement from Paulo, and it just like he gets overlooked by other number 1 picks.
Yep.
He's the weirdest number 1 pick I've seen in a long time, because you don't talk about him as if he is lackluster or if he's a bust.
Right.
You're not talking about this guy at all. Exactly. I'm just like, what is going on? This dude
it's gotta be because he's on the Magic or something. It's gotta be something.
But he's phenomenal. Shout out to Paulo. You know, I think last night he had 26, 4, and 7. You know, and just 2 turnovers. You know, and they beat the Phoenix Suns. Shout out to Paulo, man. We see you. Like we're
That's
watching
a team that could come out of the play-in tournament.
Yeah, they could. And
that's a team that can come out of the play-in tournament.
They could. I can see them holding down the 7th or the 8th seed. Great first round matchup. They're going to be fun. You know, they're going to work hard. Not one game is going to be unwatchable. You are going to be able to watch every single game, regardless of who they draw. Yep. You know, definitely KP. You know, I love that choice as well. Maybe Jaylen Brown. Possibly Jaylen Brown. Just depends. It's got to be 5 people, right? So it's like I see Maxey, Brunson, KP,
and
Paulo.
Hold on.
Mitchell.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard right there because, you know, it's like, how many people are we choosing here? It's going to be hard, I think, for Jaylen to get in there, but he should.
If he don't get in there, just beware. New York Nation is going to be very loud. They're going to be very loud.
Yep. If Jaylen Brunson don't get in there, you should be very, very loud because it's.
Oh yeah.
That wasn't okay. I was on y'all side, but you know what's funny, Jones? I seem to always be on y'all side. What's going on?
Because you You sitting good right now. You have nothing to worry about with your team right now. That's why you complimenting everybody, because you at the top of the mountain looking down.
Whoa, sir. Do you see our bench? Absolutely not. I have shit to worry about, okay?
You do, but
I got guys.
Even with that
bench.
said, y'all still sitting at the top.
Yeah, because we're elite in the top 6 people that we play. Absolutely. But that damn bench, man, I'm telling you, I be praying that they just get 7 points. Well, if you got to pray that 7 points come out, fucking
7 points is crazy.
I'd be like, yo, like Pritchard, just get 7 points, please.
You be hard on my boy Pritchard.
Nah, man, it's a prayer for sometimes. Like I'm just like, come on, bro. Like, stop over dribbling. They're gonna set the pick. Don't over dribble when they set the pick. Take the fucking shot because you're open. Please take the fucking shot because you're open.
You're open.
So, whatever. There better be a trade. I ain't playing. I ain't playing. Shout out to the All-Star starters. It's gonna be a hell of a game. I think there's some, like, with the new people that's in there, so I'm loving it. Some fireworks last week happened. We had some firings and hirings.
Oh yeah.
We had a trade. Let's get into that Miami Heat trade. So as you know, they trade away Kyle Lowry to Charlotte in exchange for Terry Rozier. Scary Terry.
Scary Terry.
They're on a 6-game losing streak.
This is the thing about Miami. Like, this is what I was worried about with Miami. Because everyone got so hyped off of what they've been able to do over the past, 3-4 years. They got to 2 finals. So everyone's like, yeah, you cannot count them out. You can't count them out.
No, you can't.
But to have them, you can't have them so high regarded as far as putting them in the top 5 teams in the East alone, So they're gonna have their ups and downs. Mm-hmm. They're a very good team, very great coach team.
Yep.
But they don't have that much talent in order for them to get and hang with the rest of the guys in the East. To hang with the Celtics, the Mavs, the Bucks, the Knicks. They don't have that talent, but they're gonna fight. They're gonna give you their all, which comes down to coaching, that culture. So now adding Terry helps with getting them another scorer, because we know Terry Rozier is a bucket getter. One of the how old is Terry? He's got to be in his mid-30s, right?
No, mid-30s. He's 29, going on 30.
Get out of here! I thought he was, because he's been, to me, he feels like he's been around for a long ass time.
I mean, we drafted him. He spent his first few years with us.
Right, I remember that. When did you guys get him? What year was that?
It's like 15 or 16.
Okay, so 8. Okay, so he's not that long.
Not that long. Like, he's a vet.
He's definitely a vet, for sure. I don't know why. I just feel like he's been around 10 plus years.
No. He's a vet, though. He's definitely a vet. I get it.
Definitely a dog. He's a bucket getter.
He is.
So that's going to help with for the Heat. Definitely take some pressure off of Butler. We know Butler can go get you buckets, but that's not his primary I can't say the word. Primary go-to thing. That's not what he's trying to do. His thing is he's gonna play hard. He's gonna outwork you. That's what best fits Jimmy buckets. If he can start passing those balls to Terry Rozier, let him do that scoring, and he do the rest of them. Now you talking. If he had a Terry Rozier in the finals, and in those finals, he's better off. Like, you put yourself in a better position, because now you got bucket getters. So I like the move for Miami. Does it make them a top team in the East? No. It doesn't do that. It doesn't move the needle in the East. It's not that. But you do got another bucket getter, a guy that's going to give you, can give you 25 plus any given night, especially when he gets hot from 3. Mm-hmm. So I like it, but I don't think it's something that's go crazy about. Miami should be cool, but they'll still be. I give them second round best, and that's kind of where I had them before anyway. So
Okay. He's better than Kyle Lowry.
definitely.
Okay. I want to make sure that we're
no
being
question.
clear about that. He's better than Kyle Lowry at this
Kyle
stage
Lowry's toast.
of his career. Okay. I love Scary Terry, might I add. Big Scary Terry fan since he was in Boston. It's actually the biggest regret of the last 5 years for me. I think that they're just bad decisions that were made by Danny Ainge in his tenure in Boston. And Terry was one of them. A lot of wasted money going to get Kemba Walker, that season, and you just didn't need Kemba Walker because Tatum and Brown were not ready, and Hayward was there. This didn't make sense just yet, Bad decisions were made, and Terry walked. You could have saved money with Terry. He was at the same, pretty much around the same age as the guy, so he's growing with them, and growing with them. So I just think that they would have been better off keeping Terry. So it really pissed me off actually when he let him walk, and he pretty much sent him over there to Charlotte, and then took back Kemba Walker to have 2 decent seasons, and never make the finals.
Right.
And it was just a waste of money, So it's it's a top 5 of one of the worst decisions of Danny Ainge on my list, honestly. Miami is on a 6-game losing streak right now. That is a terrible losing streak to have.
6 games.
That's a lot of fucking games, dude. That's a lot of games. So you were 24-16. Now you're 24-22. So New York is on a 6-game win streak right now. Miami's on a 6-game losing streak right now. They're going the opposite way. Miami, to me, they got a lot going on. They got a lot of guys. They got some scorers. I get it. Do you think that even though I feel, and I think it's true, the roster is better than last year. But what I've seen, that like every year, it's never the same team that goes back to the finals. Something's not going to work this year. I'm pretty confident to say that something's not going to work. It's like you're not going to have the same maybe Cinderella story that you had last season. It's not going to work. It's not this season. So what do you think of Miami now with Terry Rozier, and where do you see them ending up in the playoffs?
I kind of see them. Let's see. I see them where they are. I think a
7th seed.
7th seed. I could see. Yeah, I see them right where they are. I could even see Magic even jumping them, possibly. Bulls. Now there's talks that there's going to be some moves made with the Bulls, but I think if the Bulls do make a move, it's probably going to be to rebuild and not try to really make a push to make the playoff. They'll make the playoffs, but nothing that's going to really move the needle. So I see them pretty much where they are, and then, like I said, probably getting knocked out first or second round. They might not even get out of the play-in, because like I said, I could see the Magic doing something. I could see the Bulls doing something, maybe getting out of there. The only team I don't see is probably the Hawks, because they're probably going to make some moves to I don't want to say rebuild, but kind of start over with Trae Young and get some new talent over there. So it's going to be, that's kind of going to be a rebuilding situation over there. So yeah, the Heat, that you especially, you can't afford a 6-game losing streak. It's tough to do, especially at this point where we're starting to get into that point where the real season starts. We're not there yet, but we're getting there. We're already halfway towards this of the season. We're halfway. We're more than halfway, actually. But,
right.
you know, we say the real season starts after the All-Star break, and we're basically right there. We're a couple weeks away. What, 2 or 3 weeks away? So
yeah, about a week away.
So it's a nice move, but it's not a move that's gonna to take them to the next spot. And that's tough because, you know, the Miami Heat is always a tough team, always, year in, year out, no matter what. They're always a tough team, but these teams are getting better. These other teams are getting better. And Miami Heat didn't make a move to make them get better like the rest of them. So I hope they enjoyed getting to the finals these last couple of years, but I don't see it happening unless they make a big splash. Big splash.
I want to see it. I want to see like what they're gonna do, and how they're gonna put this all together. I want to see how the commitment, you know, with Terry Rozier to the defense of Miami, and I want to see if Miami is going to have this stout defense. It's gonna be tough. You know, I want to see it. You know, 6 games is a lot of fucking games.
Yeah.
It's a lot of games, but this is not the West. This is the East, and that's what I think they can hang their hats on.
Oh yeah.
So they can hang their hats on it because it's the East. So therefore, you only have you have one juggernaut, one really, really, really good team, and one really good team. You know, so you have an opportunity there. There's definitely opportunity. They're also down by 13 to the Phoenix Suns at the half. Yeah. I'm not even throwing jabs. I'm really not. I'm just giving y'all I'm giving y'all what is there. Okay.
What it is.
It's just not working. It's not working. It's not working. Houston is beating the brakes up off of the Lakers to up 16 in the second. In New York is blowing the hell out of Charlotte right now, 99-74, and they're in the fourth. So this is pretty much done. So
we gotta win every game we possibly can while Randall is out. Especially
how many points Jalen Brunson has.
Let me take a guess. I'm gonna go with 22.
28.
Woo! That boy is cooking. I knew it. I said Randall's gonna go out. This gonna turn him up even more. I love it.
Jalen Brunson, man, shout out to him. Yeah, but that trade, we got to see how that's going to turn out. You know, switching gears a little bit, Adrian Griffin being fired in Milwaukee, that was not on anybody's bingo card, especially mid-season, literally mid-season.
Oh, no.
You're second in the East. Your defense is dog shit, you know. I don't think it's all on Griffin, though. But what happened? How do you view it and, what happened?
It was a shock to me as well. I started hearing some stories, but I don't know how true these stories were. You know, that he was trying to possibly want to move Giannis's brother. So that got Giannis upset, and that's part of the reason why he got up out of there. But for me, being a fan of just basketball and watching the Bucks and seeing what they've been doing, my guess would be, outside of that Giannis crap, would be he saw the team saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah,
he's not really doing anything that's what we're doing right now. We could do without him.
Absolutely.
We could do without him. That's basically what it came down to. He didn't change this team. This team didn't turn into a juggernaut like the Celtics are turning into. You know, that's what I think the Bucks GM was looking for. Someone that was going to take this team to the next level.
Right.
It's just not. Even though they're second in the East, we all know they don't look like the second best team in the East. They definitely do not. So I think that's what it came down to. Now, we'll get into it, but his replacement wasn't much better. Very questionable.
What are you talking about? Explain it to me.
So you fire a man.
Okay.
Second in the East with a good record. Yeah, the team, like I said, doesn't look like one of the best teams in the East, but they are still one of the best teams in the East.
Mm-hmm.
And you fire him for a guy who's known, infamously known.
Infamously known for what?
Blowing shit.
Blowing shit.
For blowing shit. You ever name a coach that had 3 series where he was up 3-1 and lost? Doc Rivers, raise your hand. That's me. That's me. I'm known for having being one game away.
I can't have you do my guy like that.
I know. Look, I say that, but I love Doc Rivers. As a man, the man Doc Rivers, I love him. He's a great coach. Let me not even say good. He's a great coach. But come down to getting it done outside of that 1 year with your team and those 3 Hall of Famers, what has Doc Rivers really done? I hate to say it because I truly love Doc Rivers. Yeah. I really do. But I don't know if he was the answer for the Bucks. I think he might change things here and there. But maybe hopefully he learns from his mistake, because everyone says, and it's true, doesn't make good in-game adjustments. When teams are busting your ass and you up 3-1 and you decide not to change anything, that's been, one of the things that a lot of people are saying, and I've seen myself. You don't change. You're not a good in-game coaching guy. So I don't know. Based off of that, I just wouldn't trust it. I wouldn't trust it. And he was just sitting on the couch calling games and stuff. So I don't know. I think it was questionable.
The thing about Doc, right? And I always have to usually remind people of this. He is a player's coach.
For sure.
So he can do X's and O's, but what makes him, he's been to the finals twice. A lot of coaches don't get to the finals at all that you guys dote over, He's been there twice. I don't care who he had on his team, because it doesn't mean shit. You can put together a bunch of names and still not get anywhere, and then it'd be the woulda, coulda, shouldas.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to Boston, and everyone talks about that 2008 championship so much, right? They talk about it more than Boston Celtics fans, right? When it comes to that championship, that wasn't a cakewalk. If people actually went back and thought about that season, we went to, and I remember, I think his name was Spucky. What is his name? Oh my God, he was so good for Detroit. He was the Detroit starting guard, and he was, I really want to get his name because he was so damn good when he played for them. We went to game 7. And then the next one, we went to game 7. And I think the next one we went to game 6 or game 7. I think we went through 3 game 7s, though, if I'm not mistaken. And then I think we went to game 6 or something like that in the finals. That shit was not a cakewalk.
Oh, yeah.
It was not a cakewalk. We messed up a lot. Rajon was just coming in, not even coming into his own. I'll be honest with you. He was not coming into his own. He maintained. We didn't know how great Rondo was until a couple years later. That championship was special, and it was because he put the responsibility on the guys. He said, you guys know what you are supposed to do. You need to go out here and do it. I'm not going to hold your hand. It's all for one, one for all. It was Ubuntu. It was a very special time. That's who he is. He's not gonna X and O's you to death. That's just not what he's gonna do. He's gonna say, you're a grown ass man, you're an adult, you know what the play is and what you're supposed to do. That is Doc Rivers. The reason why I feel he's had so much, not as much success as he had with Boston, he doesn't have the same type of players that just go out there and get it done. He's had some guys that just don't go get it done. I think he's made some mistakes, but I can chew up Tom Thibodeau. I can chew him up easy and say, why does that man still have a job? Every year, I can tell you he's not getting to the finals. I don't give a shit what you give him. He's not going.
Mm-hmm.
There's just certain coaches that they're not going to get it done. I don't think this is the right team for Doc Rivers. This is very true. I don't. But I think that the reason why he got the job is because of managing personalities, which is what he's A+ at. He knows how to manage stars and manage players. He's a players coach. He's like, I got you, and people love him. They look up to him, and I just have a different mentality when it comes to Doc, rather than just look at what he didn't do after Boston. And I look at the whole story, look at the whole roster, we're talking about him not getting to the finals with Joel Embiid. And I remember them flopping and fucking up the whole game. You want the stars to win you games, that these guys that make 30+ million, but Ben Simmons was on that team too. Joel Embiid was on the floor too, and he did not get it done. But we're going to look at Doc and say, well, that's against Doc. It's on his resume. Mm-hmm. You can point. You know what I'm saying? You can point, but you got to tell the whole story. He's made mistakes though. He's frustrated me, with some things that he's done. But I'm like, just tell the whole thing. No, that's all I'm saying. But where do you see Milwaukee going?
I want to believe in them that they can get this figured out.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see it. I don't see the effort on defense. I see just Giannis having to do more than he had to do than before, because now, you got Dame, but Dame's not playing at his best. And then you got Middleton, who's not playing anywhere close to where he was when you guys won a chip, or when you guys were actually really competing. So, it's tough on Giannis. So, he's gonna still be Giannis. He's gonna hold that team as high as he can. I'm really hoping that Dame can step up his game somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to be. We know you're not going to do it on defense. I understand that, but that's not really what they called you for. They called you to be Dame Lillard. So go out there and be Dame Lillard. Get your buckets, but you're not getting buckets. So hopefully that changes, and that builds this team's confidence, and maybe Doc. That's what they bring him in, like you said, to bring him in for, to get that confidence in Dame to start shooting better and get that chemistry builded for those guys, and even a little bit better defense. Because Doc, I don't want to say Doc is known for defense, but he's gonna bring defense to that team, or at least defensive minded. Now,
defensive minded,
like,
I get it.
Can they get the job done? That's to be seen.
Right.
I don't know, but he will at least get those guys thinking to play a little bit better on defense. But do I see them beating the Celtics? No, I think we'll see the Celtics and possibly the Bucks, or Celtics and the 76ers in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So we're going to see. We're going to watch this week of games. We're going to see how it looks with Doc on the sideline and what's going on. Tonight they play Denver, if I'm not mistaken.
Big one.
That's a big game. So I want to see what's going on, with this game. So You got any closing thoughts before we get on out of here?
Only positive thing I can say is LeBron James, keep doing your thing, GOAT. That's my guy. They try to keep shitting on you, but they can't, baby. Keep doing your thing. I love seeing it. I'm a kid all over again just watching LeBron. Just keep proving these haters wrong. Keep doing it, bro. Keep killing them, GOAT. I love it.
I love it. I love it. Shout out to Steph Curry. I'm so sorry.
What a show they gave us too.
I feel so bad for Steph Curry. I really do. But shout out to Steph. Shout out to Kevin Durant. Shout out to James Harden. These are some of my favorite players. They've been my favorite players for like 12 years. These are guys that I will always watch them. Some of the guys that keep that love going, in this game. I just love watching these guys play. And even to the guys that are not stars, shout out to like Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, who's upcoming, there's just little things. Aaron Gordon, over there in Denver, is guys I like watching, just play ball. And they play ball the right way. Paulo Banchero, Orlando, Halliburton, these guys that I love to watch because some of them may not be flashy, but they get the job done and they do things very well. So appreciate y'all, and we will catch y'all next week.